Hello and welcome to Shelter 142 in Switzerland. How to calculate the components of an off-grid photovoltaic system. Part 3, the photovoltaic panel. Now, as we calculate stepwise, we are now at step 3 and we'll consider the solar panel. Again, this is the setup with the charge controller, battery, solar panel and the pump, which is the load in our case. And so far we have calculated that the pump draws 1 amp hour. The battery should have a minimum capacity of 20 amp hours. And now we would like to learn how many watt should the solar panel be able to provide. The panel should be able to provide enough energy in order to replace in one day what the load, in this case our pump, consumes per day. So the pump draws 1 amp hour. And the question therefore is how many watt are required to provide 1 amp hour per day. We have to make an assumption here, and this assumption depends on your geoposition and on how much sun you have, how much hours of sun you have per day. And for my location, I just assume that the panel produces about 5% of its maximal power output over 8 hours per day. And for example, this would mean that a 100 watt panel produces 5 watt over 8 hours. And these 5% might be much too less for your geolocation. For example, if you are in a region where the sun shines very intense, you could easily assume that you have 20% of maximal power. Now, power in watt is voltage times current, and we just take the 1 amp that the pump draws, multiply it with 12 volt of the system, and this gives us 12 watt. The 12 watt can be provided over 8 hours, so we need only 1.5 watt per hour. 1.5 watt correspond, as said, to 5% of the maximal power output of the panel that we want to choose, and therefore maximal power output is 1.5 watt divided by 5 times 100 equals 30 watt. So the panel should have at least a maximal power output of 30 watt. Now we can put this back into our overview. So far we know the pump draws 1 amp hour, the battery should have a minimum capacity of 20 amp hours, and the solar panel should provide at least 30 watts. Choose your video. If you want to watch the intro, video about load, battery, panel controller or connections, just click on the respective video. Thanks for watching, see you later and bye.